Good evening. This is an exclusive investigative report from Next Star Studio, documenting a historic transformation that is completely rewriting the structural rules of the international music business. Over our recent broadcasts, this newsroom has meticulously analyzed the deep institutional barriers embedded within modern entertainment conglomerates. We exposed the restrictive mechanisms of high-level recording contracts, and documented how true child prodigies are frequently subjected to intense creative manipulation to satisfy corporate commercial formulas. Tonight, our investigative unit delivers the definitive breakdown of a modern musical phenomenon that top global market analysts and financial forecasters are now officially calling the 2026 takeover. For decades, the traditional Hollywood establishment operated under the absolute, unyielding assumption that no independent artist could achieve cross-continental dominance without surrendering their creative sovereignty to centralized label machinery. Mainstream gatekeepers maintained a strict, ironclad monopoly over global distribution channels, multi-million-dollar corporate marketing campaigns, and elite mainstream media placements. When a talent refused to comply with this institutional layout, the system would historically suppress their visibility, leading to a total loss of market presence. However, as our team reviews the newly released global streaming metrics, localized digital engagement stats, and live entertainment box office data from this current era of 2026, the statistics reveal an undeniable reality that has sent profound shockwaves through major executive boardroom offices worldwide. Jordan, operating entirely outside the traditional corporate blueprint and without the financial backing of major centralized labels, has engineered a massive international expansion that is completely unprecedented for an autonomous powerhouse. Tonight, we go past the public relations facade to deliver a rigorous, data-driven look at how a single visionary artist successfully bypassed the global gatekeepers, protected her authentic soul blues heritage, and triggered an independent revolution that is actively shocking the global music industry. To truly understand the operational necessity behind Jordan's career pivot and her subsequent 2026 takeover, our investigative unit must analyze the standard mechanics of high-level recording contracts that dominate the Hollywood landscape. Within the traditional music business framework, major conglomerates frequently utilize highly restrictive multi-album deals, often referred to in journalistic circles as corporate golden handcuffs. These legal frameworks grant corporate stakeholders and non-creative board members the definitive authority to dictate an artist's sonic direction, visual aesthetics, public image, and even the selection of collaborative producers. For a rare prodigy whose entire career foundation was built on the raw, unadulterated emotional depth of classic jazz, traditional blues, and grand orchestral soul, such rigid structural limitations present a severe risk of immediate creative stifling. Historical industry data confirms that when raw talent is subjected to intensive corporate restructuring, the original artistic identity is often systematically dismantled to satisfy short-term, algorithmic pop trends designed for quick financial liquidation on social media platforms. Our newsroom investigation reveals that high-level boardrooms often view unique vocal dynamics not as fine art to be nurtured, but as highly malleable commercial assets to be cross-commercialized until market exhaustion occurs. By conducting a comparative analysis of historical case studies involving former talent show winners over the past decade, our team highlights a recurring pattern of creative burnout, financial exploitation, and intellectual property loss. This deep archival evidence explains the strategic resistance mounted by Jordan and her immediate advisory circle, who recognized early on that true longevity in the global market required absolute self-governance over her masters, publishing rights, and the fundamental integrity of her vocal performances. To comprehend why this massive takeover has caught the industry so profoundly off guard, our investigative unit must dissect the corporate miscalculations that occurred behind closed doors during her transitional years. The traditional Hollywood music industry utilizes a short-term liquidation strategy, where raw talents are frequently forced to abandon their native artistic identities in exchange for highly synthesized, repetitive pop formulas designed to perform predictably on algorithmic social media feeds. Historical contract data indicates that immense institutional pressure was placed on Jordan to compromise her deep, operatic, and complex vocal textures in favor of generic, computerized commercial music. Corporate executive forecasts and industrial metrics openly predicted that without the backing of a centralized label, an independent project focusing on timeless genres like symphonic soul and classic jazz would fail to maintain market relevance or achieve large-scale financial viability in this highly saturated modern landscape. But our newsroom investigation reveals a catastrophic misunderstanding of modern consumer behavior by these major conglomerates. The global music public in 2026 is experiencing a massive systemic fatigue toward overproduced, artificial entertainment. Audiences are actively seeking raw human connection over robotic pitch correction. By remaining fiercely loyal to her unadulterated vocal mechanics and profound emotional arrangements, Jordan successfully capitalized on a massive market vacuum. Her independent trajectory did not result in the career deceleration that corporate insiders predicted. Instead, it completely shattered their historical dependency myths, proving that global audiences demand raw, uncompromised artistic mastery over manufactured corporate products. We now direct our analytical focus to the precise logistical and economic data points that define this historic independent expansion and cement it as a corporate nightmare for the majors. In the contemporary media ecosystem of 2026, true market power is measured by the absolute ownership of intellectual property. Because Jordan operates under a highly sophisticated, decentralized distribution infrastructure, she retains 100% ownership of her master recordings and publishing rights, a financial reality that mainstream stars signed to corporate labels rarely achieve in their entire lifetimes. Our Newsroom investigation shows that her direct-to-consumer digital channels generate substantially higher profit margins per stream compared to traditional label models, where the vast majority of revenue is systematically absorbed by executive overhead, distribution fees, and corporate advances. Furthermore, her recent live event metrics show absolute capacity crowds filling the most prestigious cultural amphitheaters and historic opera houses from London to Tokyo. These monumental arena performances, orchestrated completely without corporate validation or funding, feature complex symphonic collaborations that have earned universal acclaim from elite musicology institutions globally. Her organic digital subscriber base has scaled into a cross-continental network of millions of dedicated fans who actively bypass mainstream media filters to champion her art. The numbers explicitly prove that her tactical autonomy has allowed her to build an independent empire that successfully competes with and outturns the massive marketing budgets of the old Hollywood establishment. As we draw this comprehensive, 5-part investigative report to a definitive close, the final journalistic verdict is absolute and unyielding. Jordan's 2026 takeover is no longer just a compelling story of a viral prodigy's stylistic evolution. It stands as a highly transformative, institutional blueprint for the global future of the creative arts. She has definitively proven to the entire entertainment sector that artistic integrity is not a commercial liability, but an unstoppable market force when backed by brilliant independent execution and a dedicated global. Her triumph has permanently cracked the foundations of the traditional label monopoly, signaling a new era of absolute artistic sovereignty, where creators can connect directly with their audiences without institutional gatekeepers or predatory corporate filters. This special extended broadcast has been brought to you by Next Star Studio, committed to bringing you rigorous, data-driven, and investigative journalism regarding the world's most phenomenal independent vocal powerhouses. We now turn the final question over to our international viewing audience. How do you evaluate the massive global impact of Jordan's independent takeover in this current era of 2026? Do you believe her triumphant model will trigger a permanent mass exodus of elite artists away from major record labels? We welcome your detailed and analytical insights in the comment section below. To ensure you remain permanently connected to our continuous investigative updates on the global entertainment sector, ensure you execute the subscription mechanism, engage the notification bell, and distribute this report across your digital networks. Thank you for your analytical engagement tonight. This is Next Star Studio signing off from our central newsroom. Good night and take care.